just to kind of give you a little backstory about this whole experience that we had. I got a phone call about a year and a half ago where Josh had said, hey, I want you to come out to my hometown of Colorado Springs. In Colorado Springs for 2 weeks. I'm gonna have two other friends come out from New York, and there's gonna be some kids. So I said, I'm a dad, I like my kids, I'm in. So I read the script probably the night before I flew out to Colorado Springs, and I realized that he had created something pretty special here. Jack deals with depression, deals with anxiety, deals with bullying, deals with suicide in these young kids' lives. And I showed up to the first day of rehearsal and I had no idea what to expect, and sure enough there were some kids and there was probably 100 others. It was a massive amount of human beings that were from the age of like 8 to 18 that were all feeling emotions and going through puberty. It was a wild, crazy room. And what I didn't realize is about halfway through the first week, a whole bunch of these kids had come from this county where it was the third highest suicide rate in teens. And so we were doing the show with kids that were dealing with this anxiety, were dealing with this bullying, were dealing with these thoughts of killing themselves, and had tried to kill themselves. And what happened over the next 2 weeks was truly one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had in my life, let alone theatrically. And I will not be able to thank you ever enough for that experience, because it allowed these kids to do an amazing show and also realize that it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel these feelings, but it's also okay to ask for help, and it's okay to get that help. And because of that, it's now going to be performed in a whole bunch of cities over the next 2 years for these kids and these cities, these other cities that are having these feelings, to be able to have this show as a method to kind of deal with these issues. And it's really remarkable what they've created, and I can't say good enough things about it. So the moral of the story is, if Josh ever calls you and asks you to do a show in the middle of America, just say yes. If you find your life seems pointless and no point is ringing true, you should invest in brand new point shoes and take a class or two.
What?
If you find your time is slipping and you're wishing it would stop, instead of waiting for the times to change, learn how to build a clock. You can be the next Baryshnikov or a masterful horologist. That's a fancy word for clockmaker. Look it up. I am one. And I'll have fun being your personal apologist. I guess you could say I'm just a jack of all trades. If a challenge is set, well, you can bet I've tried it. A life learning skills has brought me plenty of thrills. I'm not sure the amount, but my bank account keeps multiplying, and I have found if you just try what's around you, inevitably you'll see the beauty of life will be in all you gain from friends and family. The more that you know, you earn love in spades. Just learn a couple of trades.
Wait, are you saying that my life would get better if I buy a pair of point shoes?
Yes! No. Did I say that?
Pretty sure you did.
My point is, Jack, who knows? If you're too quick to judge, you'll miss out on all sorts of opportunities. If you find your life gets hairy from the trouble you've been in, get some clippers and a blow dryer, learn how to give a trim. When your life gets dark and scary and it seems you can't escape, just install a few more windows and sew some lighter drapes. Why wait around if a solution is found? You know the answer's right inside of you. And then you can say, I'm just a jack of all trades. If a challenge is set, well, you can bet you'd face it. Bet you'd face it.
Hey, Jack, do you think you could help me fix my birdhouse?
Well, of course I can, George. I'm an architect. Don't be absurd.
No, I have tried to knit this blanket, but the darn thing still has holes.
It's just over, under, through the loop. Voila! Removed your moles!
Thanks!
Help, my husband's choking!
My horse needs new horseshoes!
I can help you simultaneously, cause I never wanna lose my chance to help out.
Is that what life should be about?
Looks like you're starting to catch on. Hey, Mr. Horse, I feel a stop time coming on.